Right, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Is that working? Right, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. No.
Doing parasitis. Doing parasitis. Doing parasitis. Doing parasitis. Doing parasitis.
Right, well, there we go. We are here. I shall start speaking on the off chance that anyone turns up. Also, just share my links. And we shall see what follows. Right, here we are. Well, good evening. Good evening? Is it evening just yet? No, it's still afternoon, is it not? Good afternoon, anyone. I see we've got someone who's nipped in to join us here. I can't see who you are, but please feel free to say hello in the chat, and I'm sure we can get to that. I'm just tweeting out that I'm doing this so that anyone else, I know I had a couple of people said they wanted to join us, so they can when they do, and then I will take you on a grand tour of what we have already, which is not much, it has to be said. You will note a few small things and a big square thing here, which I will tell you all about in just a second. It is a lovely day out here in jolly old Bedfordshire. By all rights, I should probably be outside, but that's not the sort of person I am. So, as you can imagine, shut up here instead. Right, just give me 2 ticks, and then I will get back to being entertaining, or at least as close to it as I can manage. God damn it! Why does it? Twitch and Twitter rather always insist on passing my usernames wrong. It's not like I don't type them out enough. You'd have thought it might have picked up on it by now. Oh, well, the wonders of computers, if they ever do take over the world, may they run it significantly better than we ever have. Doesn't seem like it'd be that difficult. Right, there we go. That is all my admin done. I'm afraid our one mysterious viewer turned up a little too early. No such thing. Right, so what have we got? We are playing Cities Skylines. I'm sure if you are here, you know what that is. If you don't, it is a wonderful little city building game. And this is a map I started in the week. And then then singly didn't do anything with, because I thought, you know what, I want to stream this. Because frankly, I speak to myself when I'm doing these things anyway. Why not speak to anyone else who decides to turn up and make merry with me? So yes, so this is a lovely desert map. It is, I think, the only desert map, in fact, on in Cities Skylines. Certainly the default game. This is, I should warn you in advance, a heavily modded game. I have more mods. I will take you through some of them shortly, because some of them are quite important for this. But yes, this is a little deserty map, a little bit. Well, it's not quite Vegas, but that was the sort of vague inspiration I got from it. So what have we done with it so far? I've done a little bit of building and planning, mostly more than building. And the concept for this was to explore something which I shall go into in a little bit more detail later. It was a concept from a transport economist, I suppose he is, called John Kasarda. And Kasarda's theory, and it's outlined very well in a book, which is one of my favourite books about air travel, and I would thoroughly recommend it to anyone. A book called Aerotropolis was of this Aerotropolis, as you might imagine from the title. And the fundamental concept of an Aerotropolis is this: that because of the way we increasingly live, and because of the demands for us to the demands on us for sort of instant access to goods and things like that, the way that we will live in the future, rather than having our airports on the edge of the city, as we have them now, what we will in fact do is have them in the middle of the city. They will be... Oh, sorry, I've just had a technical note here. They will be... sorry. No, that's right. I was going to record this, but we won't worry about that for now. We shall merely enjoy each other's company. And aha, it's a Sally. Hello, Sally. Yes, so the concept of this was to explore this concept of the Aerotropolis. So the Aerotropolis, instead of building airports on the edges of cities as we do now, because it, noise and all the things that we consider to be bad about airports, because we're increasingly demanding that we get our goods instantly and right away, the theory was we would eventually build our airports in the middle of cities, and our cities will grow around them exponentially. I'm waving my hands here in a very authoritative manner, which of course is jolly pointless because you can't actually see my hands because I haven't got a camera set up. But that was the vague concept that I was going with here. So, as you will note in the middle of the screen right now, where my mouse is circling, I have an airport. Or rather, I have two airports, but they're all forming part of the same loose internal structure here. One is modded. This one is a modded one. I rather like this one as it looks a bit more international airporty than the other one, the other international one, which is this one, which also looks vaguely interesting, but this one was a bit easier to fit in, I think. And then we also have this, which is the cargo airport, which I will go into in a second. So Kasarda's theory is that the airports will form the core of the city. Now, the more astute of you will look at this and think, well, that's not the core of any sort of city. There's nothing really around it. And that's right. That's because I had to start somewhere and I started over here. But what there is around here is a little bit of commercial, which I will get into in a little bit more detail why that's there in a minute. And part of this is an experiment, really, to see if the Cities Skylines model will suffer, to see if it will play happily with the idea of the Aerotropolis, and if Kasarda's theory will be backed up by the game model. Now, the game model is very good, to the extent that there are city planners who do sometimes use this game to work out traffic flows and things. And indeed, some of the things I work with in my professional life involve a lot of planning and things like this are tools that they increasingly are starting to use. Sorry, if you see it drag off to one side all of a sudden, that's because my mouse has moved over to my second screen and it it has a tendency to drag it. So, what have we got so far? Well, this is where we started. Now, this originally started actually as a sort of temporary measure. I wasn't going to keep this. This was just a sort of, let's kick this off. But actually, I then came to be rather fond of it. So actually, I think I am going to keep it. We started over here, dividing it into these sort of symmetrical super blocks, as it were. Somebody dying over there. With a little bit of commercial on these bits, and these parks, which I use to create this sort of avenue effect, which I quite like, and have subsequently decided I am going to use elsewhere. If sound and whatnot is a problem, do let me know. I'm assuming it isn't, on the basis I haven't had any complaints yet, but if it is a problem, let me know, and I'll have a fiddle with our settings, because I don't think the sound is actually very loud for me. I can barely hear it at all. But it is all up. But right. But anyway, yes. So we have this little residential, mostly filled in with some slightly alarmingly thick walls of pine trees here, because that was the quickest way I could find to put those in. It's been developing fine. This is using, these are high-tech and self-sufficient houses. This was all stuff added in one of the expansions, which had I done my research I would have remembered which one, but I can't. But I rather like the look of them. I think they work particularly well with the little deserty bit. It creates a little oasis from a distance of nice greenery and calm nonsense. So up here we haven't really got anything. We just got a bit of that's water treatment. That's a recycling centre, which I think is a mod actually. And there will be a lot of things in this that I say, oh, that was a mod actually. Again, some solar updraft towers. Those are not mods. They are part of the thing. Couple of water treatment plants. One of the interesting things about this map is it doesn't have much water in it. It's not got a river or anything. It's got a few sort of lakey things. This one in particular, I'm kind of wanting to do something interesting with, even though half of it isn't actually on the map. But other than that, it's just got these little ponds. There's one up here. So you are largely reliant on water towers. Fortunately, the bigger water towers do work very well for this sort of thing. So yes, built this little bit here. It's a nice. I thought it was quite a nice look. I wanted something suitably imposing as you came in off the highway, and the old botanical garden worked quite nicely there. I thought, as a sort of glittering goal to get to. So most of the services are concentrated in the centre here. There's two high schools, precisely the same, which is possibly not how you would design your high schools. Elder care there for popping your old people in when they need it. There is a bit of public transport as well. You will note we have buses. I've changed the models of the buses to a mod. I'm sure if anyone really wants it, I can provide a list of all the mods. So that we have these bio buses, but they've got this lovely little model here, the ride buses, which I thought were rather nice. In addition to that, we've got a few taxi ranks. Although I have to say, taxis in this, there's a taxi rank there. I have never seen much taxi activity in this, and I haven't actually checked it, actually. Oh, yeah, 2 per week. Well, 8 per week with the tourists. Yeah, not a big draw, the taxis, but we put them in there just to fill the streets up a bit. We have a rail network as well, which goes where I will explain where that goes to later. Again, train models are changed. These are, I think, Deutsche Bahn. Yes, they're S-Bahn trains, because I'm a big fan of double-story trains. It's one of my joys when I'm in Germany or France, is to pop onto one of their 2-level trains, get on the top floor, and you get some absolutely lovely views over the countryside as you're whizzing through it. There's a bit of space here for expansion, not much. This will probably just be a dump space, basically, for commercial. And then we do have over here, because I started getting, for reasons I will explain later, complaints about workers. I've set up a little tram network. Tram networks are another thing I'm very greatly fond of. I have particularly fond memories of a trip to Gdansk, where I went on some very lovely old trams rattling around through the streets of Gdansk. But yeah, so we have a little tram network here, which takes you up this hill, run by this commercial, although of course you can't get off the tram line directly onto it, to a little tram staging area with a couple of cars, because I couldn't find a way of... You have to link this tram depot to the road, and unfortunately it wouldn't let me do it with just the tram roads that we have here. But you take a little turn up through here, and you come to the university, San Hirano University, which is growing. It's 286 students now. In fact, it looks like it's going to need expanding at some point in the not-too-distant future. But I just set this down. Very attractive campus, you will note. No thanks, I have to say, to my design skills, which remain distinctly subpar. Yes, so we do have a bit of university. We have a university particularly for this, the School of Tourism and Travel. One of the things I was going to try and do with this one is to make it quite a heavy tourist city. That's the Vegas influence coming through again. Ignore the fact that the parking here is not quite as you might hope. But yes, we have got a few people. But tourism requests, and again here you will see my penchant for having a nice decorative building at the end. Of a nice tree-lined avenue coming up here. That might well end up being a common feature, because I already have plans for that in several other regions. So this was our starting point. Now, industry, I originally had a little bit of industry over here, but again, that was just a Kickstarter, and I very quickly got rid of it. Because the industry is mostly over here, hidden in this corner, the SH Oil Co., the San Hirano Oil Co., so we have a lot of oil wells here. I will exclusively reveal to you that in the not too distant past, these all did burn down. So I did have to rebuild them a bit. But yes, they're now happily extracting oil there. And then we have a couple of factories here. We have a petrochemical plant, and we have a waste oil refining plant, which is complaining that it doesn't have enough buyers. I've never fully worked out quite how industry works in this. There were a few things in this game that seem to be a little bit random. Industry is one of them. The other one is this public transport measure here, which the numbers in which don't seem to be in any way reflective of exactly how many people are using it. Because frequently you will look at the numbers on the stations and whatnot, and it'll be far higher than anything it displays here, and there's no apparent reconciliation between those two facts. We have a rail station here. So originally what I had, and you can probably just about see the remnants of it here, I had a three-way junction here, where the cargo was being taken directly out of the city on this line. I then decided I didn't like that because of my desire to explore this Aerotropolis thing. There's a little commuter train. Yeah, the cons from outside the city don't always use the same model. I think no, that's not a Deutsche Bahn one either. Yeah, they use different models, but I quite like having the variable models, to be honest. So I deleted the line that took them out there to force them to use the air cargo hub, and I'm happy to say they are now doing so. I don't know whether... Yep, there we go. There's a train going to... Oh, no, in fact, that's going out the other end of the city. That one's directly selling. So that one, there's now a lovely little line that takes the rail using this lovely modded 4-track, which I was so pleased to find, because the two tracks are fine, but particularly on these sort of fairly heavy use lines, the 4 tracks are a godsend. But there we go. This is one going to the cargo hub there. With 80% loads, that was quite a heavy one as well. So that has a lovely little sweep over here around this little turning point and into the airport where it gets picked up by the planes. I will unpause in a minute because the planes are something special, as you might notice from some of these, that they actually have proper names and in fact are proper plane models. I mean, there's a 737. I think I have 737s, 747s, A380s, A320s. There is supposed to be a Concorde mod installed, but I've never actually seen Concord land, but there is one supposed to be, so maybe I've just been unlucky in drawing my random draws so far. But cargo planes, I think, are all unmodded, with one glorious exception, the one that I always make. I do have Douglas DC-3s in because, well, I think they're a C-47 model, technically. But I am a big fan of the Douglas C-47, so I use that mod quite a lot. So this little bit up here, then, what is this? Well, this is a tourism spot. I decided to make a little, and there is somewhere a notification that tells you that, but for some reason my name plates seem to have disappeared. But oh, in fact, no, it is there. It's just not visible. But yes, there's a little tourism oasis over here, and this was the cause of me having to get the university in, because they were complaining that there weren't enough university-educated people. I haven't decided how this will grow, and I have to say all of this is subject to change. It may well be that bits of this do just get demolished at various points. I'm just looking around here because this one is apparently on fire, and I am pretty sure that the closest fire trucks, there's some by the airport, I think. But I think that will be the closest. But yes, I wanted to create a little Terraforming thing, and I quite like this little sort of old caldera or something here that I thought could work quite nicely as a little tourism point. So yes, so that is the plan. There's a nice little Hadrian's Wall up here. Now that looks set for a nature trail or something. We might see about that. The only other point is this mess of roads over here. This is planned to be the sort of core of the substantive city, the high density bit. You will note that I have preemptively put in a train station here, a massive train station which goes out under here. You'll see a couple of emergent points over there for me to extend tracks out from. At the moment that doesn't actually go anywhere. I did briefly have it coming out over here, but it was hideously ugly, so I got rid of it. I've also got a hospital and a police headquarters here. Naturally I'm playing on the sandbox mode with no money enabled, because I just wanted to be a bit creative, really. I don't want to be worrying about that, and no, I'm not turning it off because it would just absolutely bankrupt the city in less than 10 seconds. But yes, so this bit, I'm somewhere around this bit is going to be mostly sort of high density commercial, few office blocks. I'm going to have to get a tech cluster at some point and somewhere, but I haven't decided where that will be yet. That might end up being up here somewhere. But then there will also be some high density residential. In fact, as you will see here, I have already started laying some of that down around this little sort of oculus here, I suppose. This is... I do want suggestions, so if anyone has any suggestions for anything, do come in. I do have a lot of mods enabled. Most of them are purely visual or new buildings and things. If I flick through any of these, there will be lots of things that you possibly don't recognise because they're not in the base game. As I say, if anyone does want to mod, then a list of mods, then I'm sure I can provide them. There are also a couple of others, like the traffic one here, which is sometimes useful. I'm hoping we're not going to have too many traffic problems. However, any of you who have played a city builder before will know that hoping that you don't have traffic problems and then not having traffic problems are basically mutually exclusive. So we will have traffic problems at some point, and we'll have to come out and solve them. One of the problems we are going to have with traffic is getting up here, because I'm anticipating there's going to be quite a lot of traffic coming around here. This is why I've put these big wide 6-lane avenues around the edge. At the moment, the only entry point is this road here, which is through here, which is not ideal. So at some point I will do a direct highway link up here. May well end up being here, although that might create some nasty little junction points there. But yes, this is very much a temporary solution, which is a phrase that applies to a startling amount of what I do. Oh, that's a cargo plane there. Look like an old Mironov or something. Yeah, that's one of the things we might have to keep an eye on. Because this is going to be high density, it's going to be quite high rise. And the cargo planes like flying in over here. I wouldn't consider myself to be an aviation professional, but I know that that's not always a good thing. There's a reason you don't do that very often. Why haven't I done anything with here? I'm going to make this into a big sort of park try and get a nice viewing area here with a lovely view of the smoky, dusty, dirty oil factory over here, and of the tour. I didn't realise you could see the tourism oasis up here. So the place where you want to be, and the place where you decidedly don't want to be. What's that? Main suggestion with Poop Tsunami. Yeah, Poop Tsunami, that's not going to work. I would say regrettably, but actually I'm trying to build a nice city here that people might want to live in. So not at all regrettably. So yeah, I'm using water treatment plants. So the ground around here is getting pretty dirty, I should think, at this point. I can never remember which is my pollution one. That's just the garbage. But yeah, the ground around here, I'm not expecting anyone to live up here, he says, noticing the nice little plateau by this lake. For the moment, I'm not expecting anyone to live up here. We might change that later. But yeah, right at the moment, the main problem, and this is the point at which I'm going to unpause, is that we have these slight problems here. Mostly people want housing, mostly people want commercial. Now, some of the commercial need can be filled by this, so I'm slowly expanding that, but that has to expand fairly slowly because it does require a lot. This is the green wedge here of highly educated workers, which are the university ones, and in all reality, this little town, which is functionally all of the living space, probably doesn't need a full university yet. However, because of what we're trying to do, I'm sort of trying to force it a little bit. But yeah, so I was just filling out this little bit. There will need to be some services probably in this segment. I haven't yet decided what they were. The other thing that I was planning on doing is similar to what I have here, where I've got a nice road and these sort of lovely little parks around it. I was going to do more or less the same, or try and do more or less the same over here. Which might mean I have to rejig these roads about a bit because hospitals and police stations do produce quite a lot of traffic on their own. So it might be that I have to rejig this about a little bit. But we will cross that bridge when we come to it. So I'll just say cross that bridge when we come to it. And I've just immediately thought, oh, can I put a big bridge across these valleys? Oh, maybe we get a bridge over there. But probably not. That probably sounds like a bit too advanced a project. So yes, so we will continue over here for now. He said, noticing he's in fact already put down extra... filled out the outside of this with things. Okay, well, we will put in a few little bits of commercial, so they've got sort of little corner shops and things that they can shop in, one of the two, just so they're not whinging too much about not having. Yeah, we've not got very balanced roads here, unfortunately. Yeah, giant bridges would be fun, but I'm trying to think where we could plausibly do one. No, I think this point is the obvious one, but I don't even know whether I'm not sure whether the game would be happy with that. I wonder if I just... Oh no, it would... Yeah, I'd have to fiddle around in the middle to make it avoid the roads, but... Yeah, maybe we'll play with that later. Although, again, another thing I think the pilots are going to fear flying into our city for. But yes. So we've got a train station over here. This airport model doesn't actually come with a train station. It does. This arc here that comes out the front when I highlight it is a metro station. We haven't got a metro yet. We probably will in this big city bit up here. But probably not anywhere else. Because, I don't know, I like seeing the transport moving around on top. But yeah, this station is quite busy because there's a lot of people, 225. A lot of people coming to either to the airport or to work here. There's a C-47. Look at it. Is it not beautiful? They're just absolutely gorgeous, those things. But yes, sorry, I'm distracted by a pretty plane as so often. Oh, that's a DHL plane. Yeah, I'm not paid to advertise any of these people. I just like having the realism of of something a bit more and being a bit of a plane geek. I like having actual proper plane models rather than just generic aircraft for this monorail, which I put in, and you can start singing the song in the chat if you like. This monorail is pretty much it's for the tourists to get to the tourism oasis. It's not very busy because there's not all that many tourists at the moment. But yeah, it goes through. It just sort of gentle stroll on the ditty. Stroll along the ditty through the valley, a nice little ride through the valley and up this hill. Might replace that with something else. I quite like the monorails in this. Who doesn't like a monorail? But yeah, I might replace that with something else at some later juncture. Just depending on how that works. Because I suspect what's happening is that some of the people who work over there coming to this train station, going down here, crossing the road, going down here, and then getting on the monorail to go there, which I don't mind, but it just seems a little silly, perhaps. But yeah, commercial. No, North Home hate them. But yeah, commercial in this, unfortunately, does tend to orient itself towards these sort of shopping things, and of course, sorry, distracted again. Of course, your commercial round an airport is more usually, conference centres and hotels and things. The problem is the hotels all look like this, and that's nice, but it's not really what you get around airports because, again, we come back to the problem of, don't want things to crash into them. But we don't really have any much tourist attraction at the moment, which I think is one of the reasons that we are where we are. We will do at some point. I will add in various tourist attractions, probably around here. There's things like where are they? Where are they? There are festivals and things you can put in. There it is. Yeah, there's music festival grounds and things that you can put in. So what we might try and do somewhere over here near the touristy bit is try and put in a big sort of complex of music festivals, which are things the youth like to attend, and stadiums and things, just to buff up our entertainment value, because at the moment we're a little bit deficient on that. I think we've got this nice little sort of restaurant here. One of the things, beach volleyball court here for the perverts, eventually, who will have hotels around here specifically to watch that. One of the things that Cities Skylines I'd like to do is for Cities Skylines to be a bit better. It's not very good on edge of water. You always get things on these ridiculously high stilts or whatnot, and you can sort of terraform it a little bit to be a bit better, but it's not easy. And now I do have a few other mods around that. I have a few terraforming mods and things like that. I'm terrible at using them, so if we do any terraforming, or if anyone wants to suggest terraforming, then I will accept those suggestions, but we will save just beforehand, because I have to say, when I do terraforming, it tends to go terribly badly. I did terraform this bit to flatten this out, because this was quite bumpy up here. Well, you can see the level as from here, but I wanted it to be flat. Yeah, exactly. Pilots like to go over there and just sort of hang around being completely heterosexual. And who's this? This is Iberia. Yes, so that is the gen. Right, this outer bit is filled in largely. I will give it a couple of seconds more, because if you've played this game, you will know that you get terrible, terrible death waves when you put a load of housing down, particularly the high density stuff. All of a sudden, everyone decides to die because it's because they all move in at the same age. I read an explanation of it once, and it was because when everyone moves into their new houses, they are all the same age, which in the game logic is 0. And that means, of course, they all reach death at pretty much precisely the same time as well, which is why you get these enormous, Grim Reaper coming through, Black Death-esque moments of terror as they all die at once. You will have known this as well, this indicator panel. I can't recall which mod this is off, but I think it's one specifically for this, which just gives you a lot more indicators to work out what exactly it is they want to be able to upgrade. So, for example, this lot want more elementary. Really? You've already got 2 schools here. Where's my schools? Oh, yeah, we are getting a bit low. But, yeah, originally I had this little middle bit. Originally, I had as a one-way system, which worked brilliantly, except for one thing, which was that any of the schools or services I put on it didn't then reach the other part of it very efficiently. So I've changed it, again, possibly as a temporary measure, to a 2-way avenue, And Jesus Christ, bus, could you not just have tucked in a little bit there? We will see. But yeah, as you can see, we're already getting slight traffic snarl ups here. And across here. Yeah, see, these weren't originally here. There was just a big square in the middle, but I put these in because I needed some more commercial, and I thought, oh, well, I'll put them along here. But what I feared might happen has in fact happened, and people are using it as a shortcut. So we might have to do something about that at this point. At some point, I might make that a one-way going that way. Possibly might work, and one going the other way. That should at least spread it out a little bit. How busy is this station? 106. Okay, so that's a fancy little locomotive. Yeah, one of the locomotive models I had. How many people waiting for the bus? That's about 6 buses worth there. So hurry up. But yeah, one of the train models I had, and I'm sure you'll see it because, as I say, the ones that I'm not using do pop in and out of the city. It was a really nice model. It was a bit like sort of old sort of Pacific Coast Highway train, but it was just too long for the stations. It was miles off the edge, and I thought, well, you either got to pretend that you're using, you're only using a third of this train, or you got to replace them. But fortunately, there are good ones to replace them with. Right, you should have now settled in a little bit. So let's do another ring of this. And then we will see. This ring is not. I'm kind of not satisfied with this ring. What I am going to play about with one of the tools, the mod tools I do have, is one that allows you to make roundabouts. Something which in the UK we are amply familiar with, although I think in other parts of the world slightly less so. That theoretically allow you to make perfect circles, which is in fact how I made this little roundabout here. And where was the other roundabout? That one was originally, but I made this. So one of the things that annoyed me was that the highways, the coming off the highways, you always get it comes off in these 2 ways. And I was always annoyed there was no sort of default junction to bring you off, well, particularly off onto one roads like this one. So I made one, which works quite well. So now, yeah, you can just shove that on the end of your 2 highways, and then it circles in, and it works quite nicely. But as I was saying, yes, I'm not sure how sort of big you can go with this highway tool. It might be something we can. So if I did that, and then you click on the end. Oh, hang on, I haven't set my settings. You click on, you can push plus, and it puts your radius up. And you can change the sort of road it is as well, which is quite useful. 6-lane road, decorative trees, 200. Oh, okay. Right. That might be a game changer, because that would allow us to create sort of rings of concentric circles, and I quite like rings of concentric circles. Not sure where we'd use that, but we might find a place to use that, because that looks like it could be quite a useful thing. But anyway, for now, the Great Doom Circle can disappear off, because I don't think we need a Doom Circle for now. It's a very lonely looking train. Not very international, but right. You are growing up. We need more commercial. I need to have a look at this oil as well, because this oil. This is the industries always seem to massively max out on this. They always just seem to immediately come out. But there's quite a lot of pollution around here, so it's got a negative bonus. And I feel sorry for any fish that live in this poor lake, which I'm sure was once lovely. You'll note I have a tokenistic effort of green energy around here while I pull the ground apart looking for oil. Right, to tackle the commercial, I'm going to put down a few more hotels over here. We'll put a pilot/perverts hotel here, and there's a... Oh, that's annoying. There's a single bloody thing there that's not... Oh, no, it's alright. It's registered it. Yeah, I had to fiddle around. This was a bloody nightmare trying to get this bit flat enough. Try and get this bit flat enough to to actually get four blocks off the road. So there's another area where these rocks, I'll admit, were actually originally quite a lot closer to the water, which did look quite nice. But I sort of used one of the other mods I've got, which allows you to do boxes and sort of move big groups of objects around more easily. Yes, the whole city is quite green. I mean, we haven't got any fossil fuels or anything being burned, not even any nuclear. Cargo airport's busy today. Are you actually going out? Yeah, they always seem to leave a 25 or 15%, these things. They never seem to have anything sufficiently as large as they perhaps might do. But yeah, the whole city is... I was quite fond of this little line. I quite like wind turbines. I know a lot of people are a bit NIMBY about them, as we say here, but I quite like them. I think they're quite elegant and much prefer them to a coal station at any rate. Right, are these hotels coming in? Yes, they are. Which is my employment measure? That's traffic, that's levels. I never use the overlays nearly as much as I should do, nearly as much as I use them in SimCity. SimCity. Do you remember saying SimCity was good? You know, before the dark times of here are 3 houses in the middle of nowhere, and then you've got to build a city next door if you want anything. No, I shouldn't be bitter, but I am. Oh yeah, post offices. I've forgotten they'd been added at some point. I have to have some post offices scattered around so that everyone can get their post. I do wish there were more hotel models, because you do get these sort of exactly the same models next to each other. I might have to look for a mod to see if... or exactly the same model, but with a slightly different coloured sign. But I might have to have a look to see if I can find it. Oh, those are quite nice. They look like... they got little deck chairs on them. Although quite how you get on those deck chairs without falling out is a wonder. But, yeah, absolutely, they are. We've got a lot of wind turbines around here because I live somewhere where it's, the countryside and it's fairly flat. We have a lot of wind turbines. A lot of solar, actually, particularly if you're going on... You don't notice it so much when you're out walking, but when you're going around on the trains around here, you really do notice there is a hell of a lot of solar energy around here. Obviously popular in deepest, darkest Bedfordshire. Right, well, let's fill in the rest of that one just to try and satisfy this commercial need a little bit. Right, what are you complaining about? Yeah, you're complaining about rubbish. I was worried about this because this is a large recycling centre, but it's still only 25 trucks. It might be worth duplicating that, I think, and getting a second one down. No, that's factories. That's rubbish. Waste processing complex. Okay, I've never used that. What does that do? Oh, that looks like it creates pollution. Is that no, we won't have that. That looks like it's just create pollution. I might replace the recycling centre I've got over in the oil place with one of those because the standard recycling centre here is tiny and it's kind of useless. So I got this mod for a big one. The other one, oh god, that's quite a lot of burnt down trees and houses. Is there a firefighter there? Yeah, one firefighter, and there's another one there. Got an achievement. What the hell's that achievement for? Oh, it's treating wastewater. Yeah, the other one that's too small for what you end up using it for is the crematorium. Now, I have actually got here, yeah, there's a crematorium. That is far, it doesn't handle nearly enough. So the other one, I have got a mod that gives us this stonking great, albeit rather nice looking crematorium. So we might have to shove one of those down at some point. But for now, we will do this. I wonder why all my labels have disappeared. There we go. I just have to press enter on them for them to... Oh, they've all reappeared now. Yeah, this bit isn't going to be called Financial Hub. That was just a planning thing for me. It was just so I knew theoretically what was going there. Right. So, need to do something with the inside of this. Because I think this is, it's sort of funny. would say put a park in there, but the problem is the parks don't play very well with curves. I have been putting these quite a lot of sort of sporting facilities. I do need to look for some mods to give more sporting facilities as well, which basically serve the same purpose as parks, because I've got some here. I think we've got 2 basketball courts, 2 tennis courts somewhere. Yeah, there's a tennis court. It's not going to be Wimbledon, is it, in the middle of the desert? But and then I think on the other side, mirroring it, because I like this symmetry. Yeah, there we go. There's a basketball court with the same 2 people eternally playing basketball, like some sort of hoop-based purgatory. Right, traffic. How are we doing here? Yeah, these corners, they're just a little bit of a bottleneck. I think I removed all the traffic lights from here because that usually makes them flow a bit faster. And I'm gonna argue in favour of that, because they have done studies that have said removing traffic lights not only improves travel, but also people do drive just fine on it. So I'm claiming science to back me up there, although it was in Denmark, so I'm not sure how generally agreed it is. It might just be that it's the good people of Denmark who do that and everyone else cocks it up. That's eminently plausible. How are we doing students-wise? 323 out of 500. I'm not really sure what the 500 refers to there, because I mean these are 2 dormitories which are 300 each, 600. These can each have 350, 1,000, 1,000. So I'm not really sure why it's saying of 500, because I should have ample room for more than that. Oh, crime is high over here. Well, we're not watching our wallets because we don't play with money. So, yeah, we could give you a little police station somewhere. What does that police station actually look like? Is it any... Why has it got a swimming pool? What sort of police station has a swimming pool? That's a well-equipped police station. Well, we'll put that down for now. Yeah, you're still complaining about rubbish and crime. Okay, let's turn this police station on, and I'm gonna have a I might have a little fiddle while we're not doing anything. He says, as everyone desperately tries to move into this place. Okay, well we'll put another. You know what? I'll just fill in the rest of this now. This is a colossally bad idea, but we'll do it anyway because it's a Sunday. What else have we got to do but come up with colossally bad ideas? Ready for the waterboarding? Yes. I like to think our police are a bit nicer than that, but probably not. if we're honest, probably not. Yeah, you do there. Maybe the parks, because this does need a few facilities in it. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's give them a tennis court on that side, a basketball court on that side, and then they've got somewhere to do exercise, healthy exercise, to waste their time there. Oh, there's a waterboarder, a policeman. Yes, your high crime is no longer high. But yeah, the green buildings that you get in this, I really like them. I have lived in apartment blocks, but they've never been as nice as this. Although they do look a bit IKEA. They're all sort of wood panelled and things. They look like being glued together by a man from Bolton who couldn't find the right to. This one particularly, he got halfway through and then just thought, you know what, I can't find the rest of the bits. I'll just leave it there. But nice little benches on top to sit, eat your dinner whilst looking at the ventilation system, just like everyone likes to do. I felt very satisfied the other day. I bought a bedside lamp to go in an as yet undisclosed location, which the astute of you might be able to guess. And I felt very mature and very adult. And then I remembered that I was just going to put it on top of the cardboard box, which has served as a bedside cabinet for the last year since I moved in. Well, year and a quarter at this point. And at that point, I felt slightly less mature. Right, you're complaining about power, which I completely understand, but it does mean I've got to find somewhere to put power up here. And I don't... power is a nuisance, because power... Oh, okay. Yeah, power always creates noise pollution. Although that being said, this bit is going to be really noisy with traffic and stuff anyway, so maybe it doesn't actually matter that much. Have I got... How did I get power over there? Ah, yeah. What I have got is this. Underground power cables. It always annoyed me that the only way to get power on this was to plonk bloody great pylons all over the place. So I have now got these little energy underground things, which, so far as I can remember, don't disrupt building patterns. So if I put one right here, it wouldn't complain that it couldn't build something there because there was already something there. He said, just deciding to check that because I can't remember. I think... Oh, no, they do. Yeah, but is it... Oh, no, they do. Okay, well, we'll deal with that. Cross that bridge when we come to it. And yeah, that is the problem when deleting them. They are invisible, which is a bit of a nuisance. But you can always go into the power mode and see what's there. Right, so, yeah, you're slowly growing up. Things are settling down a little bit. Let's have a play around with this little bit of things over here. So what I was sort of thinking here, I want a sort of great avenue somewhere in this bit, which is this bit that I'm going to do with the two parks and a big central road. Because I used to go to Brussels a lot, and Brussels has a lot of those. And they're really nice just to walk along. What I'm going to do is shove a thing in there, so we've got a flat road to work from here. Now... If I'm going to make either of this bit one way, what way do we want it to be? Up that way and round there? Oh, I'm not sure, in all honesty. I really like these train stations. There is a through one as well, but I've never really used it because I always end up dumping them in the middle of the city and then you just do big underground routes down to here. Why are you still complaining you got no power? You got power. It goes through here. Is there a dead link? No? Oh well, you'll get over it in a minute. I mean, what I could do is upgrade this road to be a highway or an avenue and have the... Oh yeah, you're going to complain if I do that because you don't think you've got enough room. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, I think. I'm going to extend these out again. Because there's nothing like planning ahead and not just randomly deleting things. And then we are going to shove in across here because then I can put something in there. I don't know what it'll be. Oh, that's a nasty angle. Okay, we'll do you to there. And this will be a sort of main street of some sorts. And then we will fasten that on as close to at a right angle as we can get, which that looks pretty good to me. And the same on this side. No, that's going to have to go back. Gonna have to go back one, and then we'll just back to being straight, thank you. And then we will put a slight curvature in here. Ooh, oh, oh, neither of those is perfect, but that will do. Yeah, and then we'll have the two streets coming off here. Now, these come out here. These, I know these look weirdly slim, but they are in fact, they're just the 4 ones. They're the 4 tracks, but for some reason when they're underground they display as 2s instead of 4s. But there is a slight problem, which is these 2 tracks then can't come out. But I think if I backtrack them, I should be able to bring them out underneath those if I move them down another sort of Z layer, Z layer or Z layer, however you want to put it. So if I'm modelling it sort of after this, I mean, what sort of avenue do we want? Do we want a sort of Champs-Élysées one like this, or do we want... it's going to be a main thoroughfare, so these ones probably won't work. We might try, maybe we'll try it with 2 first rather than 3. So I've just struck the idea, if I do make this one way, this little end bit here could be really nice, like, because I know you've ever walked through the City of London, but the actual City of London, not London, but the city. And it has all these lovely little windy back streets and things with these beautiful old buildings in it. And they're really nice to just walk around. I do miss living in London because they're absolutely gorgeous to walk around. And I'm just struck with a sudden, oh, well, if this was a nice little one-way up and down bit here, that might make nice little windy streets that we can have. But so then there's another part of me that wants to make this sort of end bit, the little tech cluster bit. Because if I just had a load of offices and tech offices in here, the tech clusters in this are stunning. They're absolutely enormous. That was why I wanted to put them up here, because I want it to be king of all its surveys, just looking out over the valley. And I want to imagine that I have an office at the top of a beautiful tall building over here where I can look over my gorgeous airport, which seems to have significant death and rubbish problems. Let's do something about that. We'll get back to the city in a minute. We just need death and rubbish. Got to deal with death and rubbish first. Yeah. Oh, yeah, this big building here, this is a disaster response unit. This is from the Disasters DLC. I've never really used the Disasters DLC. I like having it around, but I usually have it turned off. But I have discovered that if your place is burnt down, like all of my oil farms did, you do then need a disaster response unit before you can rebuild them. And also it has a helipad. So, I mean, this area will have all my helipads on it as well at some point when I've got fire and police helicoptering. We'll use helicoptering. They might well end up going in this bit where the monorail is, and I might end up moving the monorail around here, so you have to sweep round the outside of the airport. So I was very safety conscious, though. I put little fences around all the airports. So I was quite, because, hashtag security, hashtag safety. And I even deleted all the trees from it here. I did that after I noticed that one of the planes that was landing at the cargo airport, it was one of those big buggers. I noticed one of his wings went through a tree, and I'm no aviation engineer, but I know that a wing going through a tree is rarely good for either the tree or the wing. So I removed that there. Come on, Hill. What are we doing with the roads here? Right, I'm going to temporarily do them as one ways. Which way are people more likely to be coming in? Probably along here, if we're honest. So this one is going to be going that way. Sorry, it's my mouse. Behave yourself. Slightly worried that the batteries might not be far off going in this mouse. I did order a new set with my fancy table lamp to go on my not at all fancy cardboard box table, but alas, even with Amazon Prime, they will not be here until tomorrow. Right, is that going to lead to problems? A few people might go down onto here, but more likely they'll come off over here, so that'll be all right. You're still complaining about lack of power. Why are you complaining? Oh, is it just that there's not enough? Oh, I suppose it might be there's not enough power going into here now. Yeah, unfortunately you can't sort of look at separate grids, which is a bit of a nuisance really, because it does mean that you have to sort of guess as to, yes, all come online, I've almost certainly got enough power in the whole region, but whether I've got enough here is a different matter. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up a level, we're going to delete you. Right, we will do a 2-lane, I think, to begin with here. Trees in the middle, trees either side. Oh, I don't know, I like trees either side. They're not very thick trees either side. Let's do trees in the middle for now. We have a perfect midpoint there, which makes me very happy indeed. Space already occupied. I thought you'd auto-delete that. It's just a rock. I don't care about just a rock. Ah, no, that's not just a rock. That's one of my invisible power things. Bugger. On the basis you're still complaining that you have no power, I'm just going to delete all of these and we'll come up with a solution for you later. How is everyone's Sunday going? I always like Sundays. There's lovely relaxation. I've been doing Sunday nights. I've been doing rewatches of Star Wars, and I'm finally I'm on Revenge of the Sith now, which I think is going to be a great relief after having suffered through the Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. I think getting to one that is at least 50% decent is going to be a blessed relief. Park with trees. What does park with trees look like? Is that nice? It is nice, but it doesn't have any passage to eject onto this side on. I'm not sure, because you can when they added the build your own parks DLC, which is a thoroughly good DLC. You can shove. Yeah, you can put links in, but yeah. Okay, we won't use you for now. I mean, maybe as you're in the city, maybe you should be more sort of plazas, as this is going to be. Yeah, I quite like that. Where are my plazas? Plaza with trees. Oh, it's a bit small. Let's see how that looks if I do those all the way along. Well, I won't do them all the way along. We'll just do a test run of 8 of them. So then if I put roads, we'll say smaller roads along. Ooh, we might have some intersection problems there, but we'll work with it for now. And I'm thinking we'll have buildings, sort of high density buildings down here. I'm not sold on that, I'll be honest. I am not sold on that at all. Okay. No is the answer to that. We'll see what else we have. Maybe we have... Yes. There is always certainly an exceptionally nice plaza in the... Oh, that's quite nice actually. A little sort of pseudo-Italianate plaza. But I think that might cause trouble with the roads, is it? Yeah, that's going to cause bloody trouble with the roads because it won't go next to that because it thinks those two nodes are too close together. Could do that. Possibly. Let's put those along, see how they look like, and then we'll see about putting the roads in. Might have to go at a slightly duff angle. We could always delete a few roads and play around with them. That sometimes works to make them a bit happier. Let's do a quick crossroad here because it likes having... There we go. Oh, what if I did to there and to there? How does that look if I do that on both sides so it's nicely symmetrical? Oh, well, that actually looks quite nice. I quite like that. I'll put something in there. I don't know what. Maybe trees. Where's my terraforming tree tool that has all the trees? Yeah. Okay. We're gonna keep it like that. Right. Okay. Stop unpausing. How are you developing? Oh, you're developing nicely. You've slowed down a little bit because you're complaining about lack of commercial, but I can understand that. Which does raise the question, how do we want to structure this bit with regard to commercial and offices? Do we want to alternate? Do we want them in specific sectors? Do we want all the offices down here and then a little bit of commercial behind and more offices? I can't remember which generates more noise. Probably commercial, I would have thought, which might suggest that we want this further end bit to be more commercially bits. But okay, well let's get a basic road system set out first. Right, Kent Street there. Oh, come on. Come on, you had that for a second. That blue line. There. Haha. Ah, but that's not going to work. No, that is not going to work because I won't be able to upgrade the 2 little streets here. Oh god, no, don't go back 2. Come on. Yes, I know you're going to complain. I'll put you back for now. Then we will put... So, this is what I'm going to have to do, I think, is put spurs of large roads, because I'm planning on having fair numbers of little small roads in between. And the problem is, always the problem with city builds, you don't want too many junctions close together, which is why this bit is probably going to be an effing nightmare. But we'll work with it. We'll work with it for now, and when it becomes a problem, we will completely fail to deal with it then too. But for now, make it a roundabout. What, this bit? Oh, what, these little bits? The problem is they're too close to buildings, really, I think, to be made into roundabouts. There's also begs the question, what we're going to put in here. Let's put an office or something. I mean, we've got police and things there. Have we got a fire thing that would fit? Oh, you'd fit. That's a fire thing that would fit. And I think we could probably get a crematorium in the bit next to that. Or one of the other things, which one of the DLCs added, which I can't remember. Would you fit? No. Oh, you probably weren't then either. A sauna. You can put saunas in. I mean, honestly. Does anyone actually like saunas? I bloody hate them. I can't stand the bloody thing. I don't understand the point of just going in and getting hot. Just, why? I could just go and stand on the sun if I wanted to do that. Well, yeah, theoretically at least. Right, you... I think you can come out another couple, actually. You can't, but actually you're probably... I'm going to want a bit of a curve, I think. Yeah, oh yeah, that's quite nice. Oh yeah, that's we like that. Yeah, I think the main city bit here is going to be quite like this. It's going to be quite structured and quite ordered in a way that I quite like my housing to be a bit more sort of random, I suppose. So I'm just looking in the middle of here now and imagine remembering the big Doom roundabout we made over here and thinking, well, could I do a sort of multi-layered version of that round here? And that might end up might end up being what we do. It's not massively efficient. But I'm not building this city for efficiency, really. I'm building it to look pretty and drink milk. And it's just finished its drink. Spaghetti Junction, look, I used to live in Birmingham. Spaghetti Junction is not fun. What do you mean there's high crime in 2 places? There's a police station. Are they too busy in their swimming pool? Yeah, they're too busy. Oh, no, they're just having a little rest here. Yeah, he's an agent at this police station, and he's just sitting there, and, oh, she's going to join him. You're the director of this police station. Look, there's people over here. This bookstore is being robbed, and this administrative building... Oh, it's complaining about rubbish now. Okay, how university numbers, what are we doing? 303. Hang on, it's gone down. Should be getting more. Are we having real capacity problems now with education? I think we might need some more schools. More schools, right. What have we got here? Community school. Is that for... Yeah, that's for children. So a little elementary community school might do nicely somewhere. I thought I'd left some gaps here in some of these little slots. Where is most struggling? Oh, it's this one. Okay, we'll put you a community school in there. You know what? Sod it. We'll put an extra one in there as well, just for tackling the inevitable complaints later. And while we are here, let's put in a high school, another high school as well, just to boost our capacity a little bit there. We have got Yeah, there is a bit of a problem up this end because we got this. This bit was a bloody nightmare to try and sculpt, and I did try to, but it ended up with this weird, massive cliff going to the edge of the city, and I really didn't like it. And then I was trying to work out how I could put a sort of decent housing down here, and from what I recall, I worked out that it was always going to be just complaining or not. Yeah, it only puts in these two, and I don't really have a way of. Come on. Thank you. Of flattening this bit out in a way that doesn't completely muck up here. And you can get it so this road is on a sort of enormous embankment hill, which looks interesting, I suppose, but also kind of ridiculous. Right, I'm going to. I mean, if it's the Champs-Élysées, this bit needs to be sort of commercial. And then I need to find a way of getting power to them. I might just shove in a. Do I want to put in a. Look, as a temporary solution, because we're not actually really using this, I'm going to shove in a solar thing here to power this just until it's all connected up naturally. And that should be enough to power you lot. Oh yeah, water. I didn't put the water in here either. Yeah, our water system is a total mess. But again, just like the concept of the city, it's centered on the airport, and then it just all goes off. Although I have to say that was a really nice piece of routing. I'm not very exciting. This, it's a reason I don't do this often. We will just put in a few extra pipes along some of these roads. Probably going to need a water tower up here, actually. I hadn't thought about that. So put that in over there. Right, your high density commercial, when you grow, you will grow better, and you will grow taller. At least I really hope you do. That's the other thing we might have to do up here, a little nightclub district. Because you can get the, what is it called? The entertainment, leisure specialisation. But I don't think all of it's going to be that. I think we'll temper it a little bit. But why are you still complaining you've got no power? You have got... Oh, is it because that's not yet? That's not connected to the water. Okay, that's not connected to the water grid. That's fair enough. And then we will put that in there. And then you should... Come on. There we go. You're connected. And hopefully you are all now going to go... Haha. And turn the hospital on as well. Won't turn the station on yet because it's not actually connected to anything. Cool. Guys, come on. You've got power now. Definitely. Definitely. Have these underground things stopped working? Because it does say new version available, but they always used to work. What if we do this? That's not connected. Okay, we'll do what I always do, which is put in a temporary park to be deleted later, to be used as a sort of, power connector. There we go. Come on. Is it this bit? No, there is a link between that bit. Is there a need for one of those there? I hope not, because that doesn't look too bad, actually. Why are you not electrifying? Come on. You've definitely got power. There we go. Can I now safely delete that on the basis that... Oh, I just deleted one of these tracks. I didn't mean to do that. Where's my... Oh, god damn it. I thought Control Z worked in this game. Okay. We will put that back in, because if we don't, I will forget. And it should be the same length. Yes! I always have fun trying to get these exactly the same length. No, you've not got power again. Bloody hell. Look, you're connected there. Very clearly you have a connection. Fine. We will put in a power line there. can stop whinging. Because nobody likes a whinger. Or at least not many people like a whinger. So... Okay, so you're coming in. Oh, that's quite ended up quite nice actually. I quite like that. How are we doing for traffic around here? Is there another way into that? No, there isn't. Yeah, this might end up being a bit of a bottleneck. But again, this is another reason we might want to get some public transport up here in the not too distant future, and that shouldn't be too difficult because I could just knock down one of these and put a metro station in. But I'm wondering if we should try and do a train link to that station up there, and if so, where we're going to put it, because it will need a triangle-y junction, and I did it, but it was over here and it was sort of underground. It looked very, very strange. This one, the rail does come in from over here as well. Maybe I could put one in behind the university. But that's going to be noisy for the students. Well, that doesn't matter. They're not going to be working, are they? Let's put a recycling plant over here as well because they're complaining. We'll just put a small one down there, and hopefully you will help relieve our recycling problems. They are filthy students. They've got a swimming pool to muck around in now. They just go and see the policeman, asked to be arrested and put in the pool. Passengers 1 of 196. Well, that's very efficient. How are we doing on transport? Oh yeah, my buses. You see, the buses are getting a bloody hell of a lot of people, which is amazing given that I think most people still work in the industry, and the industry trains always seem to be... Whether we've got one. Is that an industry train? Nope, that's for the Aerotropolis. Although those are very full, actually. There must be a lot of people working there as well. That must be an issue. Yeah, the oil-filled express. Oh, that one's not got anyone on it. Okay, maybe people are moving away from the oil industry, which I'm perfectly happy for, because that's another thing that's not very good for a plane. I'll be honest, not very good for a plane to have your wing stuck in. Mind you, having this here is probably not. Let's move that, because that's probably not great news. I didn't realise originally that this air cargo station actually has a pre-existing rail route. So I had a railway cargo station over here, which was fine, but sort of then I thought, well, why bother if it's got... yeah, you've not got enough customers. I know you haven't. This is because you don't model economics properly, but you know... sorry, that's typical me. Blame economics. In fairness, blaming economics is rarely a bad move. It quite often is economics' fault. Now, how are we doing this? The natural way to do it, of course, is to just do this. But the problem is that means you get a lot of junctions close to each other, and that's constant start, stopping, or stop, starting, depending on which way you want it. And that's not very good for efficiency. So, what else could we do? We could do a sort of... we could do a sort of... Is that actually... Yeah, that is... What if we did a sort of thing like this? Oh, yeah. Ooh, that might work quite nicely, actually. I know I've just destroyed like most of the economy over here, but just going to rebuild in a manner conducive to what I've just done to you, please. Yeah, I quite like that. That might be another one we want one way on, but for now we will do it not one way. Yeah, you can go to there. You can come out here and go to there. And then we could have a little... T on the end, maybe? Not quite symmetrical, but it will do. And that should make it make quite an interesting little look, hopefully. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, rail, yeah. The problem is with this one, you have to work out which tracks you want going in where, and that's not always easy as it sounds. I mean, for the time being, I mean, where do we need tracks to come in from? One from here, one from here, one from the outside. So logically, the one from the outside should be the closest one to the end. The next one along should be from here. The airport one should be in the middle. And then on this side, we can have one going out to the other side down here. One to the oil. Oh, we need one. Do we need one for the tourism place, or are we just going to force them to use the monorail because we've put it in? I don't know. Forcing them to use the monorail because we put it in is probably not a bad idea, to be honest. Yeah, they've got monorail singing again. Okay, let's. What I'm going to do, I'm actually going to delete the 4-track ones here because I only put those in. They don't actually need to be 4 tracks, these ones. Come on, down. Thank you. Ooh, but they do merge quite nicely. But I'm not going to want them coming out at the same point. So let's not do that for now. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop kicking me out from there. We are going to extend these out. This one is going to link over Ooh, is it going to link? It might link over here somewhere, actually. Really? You'd be happy with just dumping in a route over there? Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, for now, just so I can remember where they're supposed to be going, I'm just going to put them in as a big long, this is where you're going to be going. You're going to be going somewhere over here. You're going to be going to the old town. Because these will be of varying importance at this point. So you're going to be going somewhere over there. Oh no, maybe I want the second one to be. Yeah, I want this. I want the second version, the second route to be going to the airport, I think, because otherwise there's going to be a weird crossover. Of course, most of these railways are going to be entirely underground, so you won't get to enjoy any of the lovely scenery, but, you know, I'm sure they'll live with it. Go on, let's delete all of that, thank you. So we will delete all this. This one is going to have quite a sharp turn. The banks on when I was looking at setting up the industry, the initial industry, and I don't think there will be any more industry, to be honest. And in fact, we may well end up at some point getting rid of the oil because it's oil. Sorry for any Texans who happen to be in. So you're going to go over here somewhere. You're going to go to the old town / university. Oh man, do we need? Oh, I might do a university station. Although that gets rid of the need for the trams, and I like the trams. Well, it's not like anyone's using them anyway. Yeah, university stations. There aren't enough places that still have university stations. Last year I went to Birmingham University, and they have. Well, I don't think it's officially their station anymore, but they used to have a station. You lot just extend out for now. And then... Come on. Stop it. Right, first one there. Right, I think the one in the middle is going to be the one that goes to the outside world over there. So you will go over here somewhere and join up there. The second one is going to be to the oil for now, but as discussed, may well end up being got rid of later. And we might have to rejig the station here because that might end up being a bit of a loop, but that's fine. And this one, our last one's just a sort of hanging one for the moment. Oh, that looks quite pretty. Okay. Ooh, that one could... Oh, the one that links to the outside world I really want to have going along this ridge now. But I don't think I'm going to be able to make it, because that really would give us a giant bridge. Oh yeah, giant bridge. That's what that last one is. It's the Great Bridging Project of 502. That's road, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So let's see about connecting a couple of these up. This one, if I soften. Oh, remember, always save before you put in before you do any terraforming, because it will go wrong. At least it will if I'm doing it. So if we soften, no, I don't want a single brush. I want it a bit bigger than that. Thank you. Oh, but that's going to be right next to the university, and I'm not sure. Let's try doing it sort of here. Ooh, that might be nice. A sort of curve round, I'm thinking, to a junction here. Yeah, that might be quite nice. I hate it when I get a good idea because it never works, but sure. Well, that's your job to think of a name. I can't do everything here. Come on. Yes, something like that, and then. Come on, stop complaining. Why? Yes, that is a bit of a. Okay, we'll do it like that. Bom, bom, bom. Distance too short and slope too steep. Oh, come on, that's not too steep a slope. That's pretty steep, but we ignore that because it's underground, so it doesn't count. Okay, let's take you back a bit. Okay, yeah, I'm feeling that. I'll be honest. I'm feeling that as that being that one. Where did the... Oh, that one came out. Okay. Yeah, okay, I'm feeling that. So if we then open the station, so it actually does work, we should be able to get a route going from this city. So it'll come out here, rail, a new line, which is going to go... Is this going to flip around? Sometimes they do. Oh god, which one was this one? It was the... This is like one of those follow the thing puzzles you got as a child. There. And then it comes... Is that right? Yes, that's going the right route. Okay, and then it comes back in here. The problem is this station is now going to get massively clogged up because for some reason they're only using one of the two platforms. I'm going to ban intercity trains for a minute because I wonder if that might help. If we have the intercity ones always going into the centre, and then if anyone wants to get back out, they can bloody well do it themselves. Right. So that is a new line, which is a rail line. We are going to call that the central line, because I can't think of anything more imaginative at the moment. Oh, I can't remember what any of these look like. Oh, well, rides, I think, are alright, because that was the one we have the buses, so let's get a bit of a theme going. This station is ridiculously busy and going to be even more so. I am wondering if I need to upgrade this station. Because I have got different types of station going here. Because this is the standard. Oh, it'll do for now. It'll do for now. Ah, they are using both sides of the station. What are you? You're... Oh, I think you're the last intercity one pulling in. Yes, you are, because you've just disappeared. Okay, so that one is now connected up. There are a lot of people dying here. Okay, we better give you a crematorium, because at the moment I'm going to dump it there for now. We will replace it later. And you're all happy. What else are you complaining about? What else is the problem here? Oh no, that's fire hazard. Okay, I'm just going to temporarily dump down some little stations and things along this side, just so you bloody cheer up. Frankly, we'll deal with what we're going to do properly for provision shortly, because it won't be that. It's unlikely to be that at any rate, and that hopefully will. You've got people who are sick, but I've just put in a clinic here. Have I? No, I've just put down 2 crematoria instead. Okay, we'll get rid of one of those. Clinic. Where's my clinic? Right, there's a clinic. Oh, you're also going to want schools, which I hadn't thought about, actually. For the moment, you're going to have to commute to school. It's not a very long drive, don't worry. Oh, we've got more stuff upgrading over here, but it's still only upgrading to the 3rd level. Yeah, I might going to try and... Oh, hang on. Some of this stuff is nearly on level 5. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, because I think this bit is just going to end up being a little suburb bit, although there's a lot of dead people. Okay, maybe we need a bigger death care. What are you at? Cemetery uses. Yeah, availability is enormous. Get to work, bloody. You've even got 2. You've got a crematorium and a little graveyard, which I mostly put there because I like the little churchy thing. Okay, so. Yeah, your problems are now being dealt with. Have you got traffic lights here? You have. I'm going to keep them there for now, but we might get rid of them later if they start becoming a problem. You want more housing, which probably means I need to tackle what we're doing here with regard to housing, and possibly here as well. Okay, if we're going to try, I'm going to save again, because if we were going to try, hypothetically, this little weird mad roundabout plan that we had, I say that I had, and that you lot, because you're watching, are forced to go along with. How can I make one in the middle, or does it have to be on the end? No, it has to be on the end. So what I need is a road that finishes roughly in the centre of all this. That about the centre, do we think? Probably good enough. I can never quite remember. So if we put that out to say there, what the... Oh, bloody hell. Right. Okay. I don't think that clever plan's going to work. I'll be honest, I think what we've done there is something that only gods of the earth can do. Now, I could flatten this bit out, but I sort of don't want to. I might run the smooth terrain tool over to see if I can... panicking now, so I'm saving. See if I can smooth it out a little bit. I suspect the answer is not usefully, but we'll try. We'll give it a bit of a going over. But I don't think that's going to work. Okay. What about this bit? Let's try. Oh, you can't put a. Let's put in a sort of. Oh God, no! You don't need a bridge there, you stupid bloody thing. Come on, backtrack. You don't need a bridge. You just need to. No, I said you don't need it. Apparently, it does need a bridge. Okay, let's just gently smooth this out a bit. Right, you might need a bridge now, but I will give you a bridge from there if you want one. That's better. So what I'm thinking is we put a bit here with a reconnection about there, and we'll have another little housing thing here. So I don't want to flatten all of this because it'll just end up looking really boring. Because I mean, this bit is going to be really flat and is going to end up being pretty dull. So, and I don't want that, and I don't mind having a little sort of multi-layered thing over here. But you see what I mean about the planes flying over this? If this is all high-rise, that's going to be ridiculously, terrifyingly loud and risky. But yeah, we'll put that one in there as an avenue because then that's one. That's not one way, but it should be one way. Let's upgrade it. Well, exactly. It does make it more interesting. It'd be like it's like those airports, in the Himalayas where you've got, 30 feet to take off on, and if you don't take off in that 30 feet, then you're in serious trouble, and you just got to hope that you can get enough lift before you hit the valley floor in a great big fireball. It's a bit like that. So, right, we'll do a little, it's a sort of bell shape. Well, there we go. That might be called the bell or something. I was going to make a joke about a bell end, but I don't think I will. For fear of giving entirely the wrong impression. So, with regard to other roads, what are we going to do? Yeah, I am classy, I know. We could do... let's do a little... This is mostly just playing around and almost certainly won't be what it ends up looking like, but I'm just going to try... In fact, that's already a terrible idea because that's already a massive junction there. Although it actually might be alright because of the one-way system. Let's have a play around with it like that first. And then we can work out again, as I've said previously on other points, we can work out later it's a terribly bad idea and decide not to do it, or not to bother correcting it. That wasn't the one I meant. I want that one. No. Nope. That's not really where I want it. But can I have it a little bit close? I want it close to that, but not there. Where's my road snapping? Snap not to road guidelines. No, that's still doing it. All of you, stop it. No, not all on, all off. No, that's not going to happen. Okay, we'll just try it that way. See, what I want to do is try and preserve as many of these 4 blocks because that's the sort of maximum it can be. So I kind of need to preserve as many of those as is possible. But what we could do is possibly that and have excuse me, sorry, that was probably exceptionally loud. We could have a little I was going to say a little T-junction. Well, given what I've done here, you're going to think I'm obsessed. Honestly, I'm not obsessed with T-junctions, but I'm trying to make optimum use of the space. Oh, God, that's a nasty little... Right, well, yeah, let's do that. That might end up having some parks or something, or services possibly on it there. You know, like, I was thinking, could I join it up there with a one-way or something? But I won't for now. We'll see. We'll see if that works. Of course, that really hasn't helped us with the problem. All that's done is made the problem slightly smaller because I now have to worry about what about this bit, and I don't want to do that again because that's already likely to be problematic enough. Maybe this is the point for a magic roundabout. Let's... No. Don't do that. Save. Thank you. Maybe this is the point at which we put in a roundabout, but it's not as big as the one I tried to do last time. Unfortunately, the roundabout tool, though I said merrily it has all the roads in it, the truth is I don't think it actually does have all the roads in it, because that one, which is the one I want, large avenue with grass, does not appear. So what we might have to do is do it as something else and upgrade it to that, which is why I've saved, because that might be the only way of making that one work. I suppose it is a 4-lane. I'm just trying to find something that will be at least reasonably approximable to it, so I can estimate. Yeah, come on. Keep going. I think it needs to be a bit longer, actually. Close that for now. You need to come out a little bit more, because it's not quite centred. I'm afraid my judgment was impaired with regard to centering. Could almost do with being at a bit of a slightly different angle. In fact, sufficiently so that I think I'm going to put it at slightly a different angle. We'll try it there for now. So, if I did that... I'm seeing a few problems, I'll be honest. I think that's what's known as a high camber in the trade. Possibly, arguably, a little too high a camber, and I'm guessing that pressing the upgrade button ain't gonna help. In fact, I can't press the upgrade. Slope too steep. You don't say. Well done. Slope too steep. Oh yeah, that's just putting in a bridge. Okay, let's good practice for hill starts. I mean, yes, I suppose. Okay. Let's, loath though I am to say it, let's try doing it manually. I'm not very good with the curves on the curved roads on this, I'm afraid. But we'll try. It's just wonky. That's the problem. It's not... That works, and I'm happy with that, but not there. So if I do it slightly differently, like this, for example, and then like that. Oh, that's better. Is it? Or is that wonky still? Oh, it's just wonky. It's wonky because of the elevation. That's why it looks wonky. I think. Yeah, that's wonky because of the elevation. I will take elevation wonkiness as being something I can't do much about, and we'll have that there for now. Now I just need 2 little eyes up here, and we've got a big smiley face city. The Smiling Bell. And then we could do that. And then we could do... No, we couldn't, because apparently the slope is too steep. Well, we'll come out here then. Apparently the slope is too steep there as well. Okay, we'll do that, but we'll just have the houses on one side instead of on both sides. I don't mind doing that. Oh, you're going to be a bugger on that side, aren't you? You're not going to want to connect there. Okay. Oh, is that the bit you're complaining about? Is it slope juice? It's that bit you're complaining about, so let's do it that way. And then this might be where this comes in useful. No. Select that bit of road, thank you, and just do that with it. Haha! We have it working. Oh, that's a nice little sort of... got a few nice little bumps in it, that street. I quite like that. Okay, so... Fours. Yes, blocks of 4. Okay. I think we're going to repeat that then all the way up. We're not going to be able to get more than a couple, so let's just do it here. It's wonky, but it'll do. I'm here for aesthetics, and wonky can be aesthetic too, or at least so people tell me. And possibly, no, a couple of straight ones off here to have something on. I do keep telling myself that because no one else will. So yeah, there we go. There is another new little housing bit we can have. Let us fill in a few little bits of that, and we will see how that comes out. We'll fill in from here, though that's likely to cause power problems. We might have to shove in I'm going to try these underground power things again, just for the time being, see if we can convince it to work. Yeah, that one ends up with quite a nice view, and possibly especially nice view when a cargo plane comes crashing through the window and into your front room. How are you lot doing now? You're doing a bit better. There's still a few dead people in these rather nice grass-roofed buildings, but the one thing I can't work out how to do, and I think it's the traffic mod, which is otherwise exceptionally good, but I think it basically, when you click the roads, usually you can assign them as a priority road. I haven't worked out how to do that with the traffic mod, because it involves these... I mean, it does involve just shoving... Oh, hang on, there we go. Oh, let's put that on, because I want them to... If they're going to be going around the city... Ideally, I want them to be using this road, not any of the others. So does that just puts up special signs and things, I think. Right. Oh, there we go. You're building in. You're building in the old style. I want you to be the new style. I need to fiddle around with this a little bit. Let's. No, not crescent tails, thank you. Oh, sod it, we'll just expand this one. We'll work on naming, and we might separate out different regions in a bit, but for now we will just do it all together. So I want you to be high-tech housing and green housing, because whilst that looks quite pretty and San Francisco-ish, oh, that'd be a really nice hill to live on, as long as your brakes on your bike worked, because otherwise, again, I fear crashes through windows of other wheeled vehicles might ensue. Yes, you're going to complain about water. That is a very good point. So let's slam down a little bit of road here, a little bit of water rather here. Just to, it's a good job you can't see the water pipes. I've never been very good at laying proper, gorgeous water pipes. I am no Joseph Bazalgette who did the London sewers that are stunning brick works of wonder. You never thought you'd ever come to a stream where they describe where the sewers of London would be described as stunning brick works of wonder, but there we are. It's a Sunday. What did you expect? No, they are. What is the interesting fact? Joseph Bazalgette's great nephew or something. Peter Bazalgette is one of the founding fathers of the TV company Endemol, who were most famous for making Big Brother. So really a family that is deeply involved in shit. That's almost certainly the best joke you're going to hear today, just so you know. I think it's one of my favourites. Okay, so let's just wait for these to come in. Oh, they've come in. Right, I feel like we can now, services wise, for some reason I'm thinking it's a bad idea to put schools on a massive 3-lane avenue, but I might end up doing it anyway because this lot are already complaining about schools. So, excuse me, no, don't build there. Did I mean to put those there? Oh well, I have done. We will put in some more housing there. Then we are going to put in schools. That's a high school. Oh, that's an interesting high school. Yes. I like that high school, although possibly not there because the yard looks distinctly unhealthy. Let's put in a little school row over here. What other interesting primary schools have I got? Or elementary schools, if you are of the American persuasion. That's Lichtenberg. I remember liking that one. I did a really nice sort of old European style city, which was absolutely lovely at one point. And it was absolutely gorgeous, this thing, and I was very happy with it. And then I finished that game, and that was it. It wasn't much of a story, that, I'll be honest, but but again, it's the only one you get for now. So deal, I think, is the usual dismissive response. Oh yeah, I reckon that's going to end up being quite. Imagine standing on that roof in the middle of the night. Actually, that's a point. I haven't got the day-night cycle turned on. Where is the day-night cycle? Use day-night cycle. Day-night cycle is really nice because it gives you a really pretty view of your city, but unfortunately it also means that half the time you're trying to design things in the pitch black, which isn't really conducive to, designing things. Right, are you the sort of trains we got on the main route into the city? Yes, you are. Okay, I like that. I might have to turn a light on in a minute. I can barely see what I'm typing. Just give me 2 ticks. And I can... Fortunately, my headphone cable is long enough that I can walk to the light switch without taking them off. But Right. Okay. Yeah, I like those as being little sort of interlocal trains, inter-regional local trains. Yeah, you're not going to be massively heavily loaded for the time being, but you'll do. You're still complaining about crime, so are you. Does anyone in this police station work? No, it hasn't only got 5 cars, but honestly, I wouldn't have thought that was too much of a problem. But you're a university student. You're a university student. I love that. I love just being able to click through and see who individual people are. I think it's fantastic. Right, we'll keep you rolling. Yeah, you've got crime, but there should be enough police to get there eventually. We'll have houses there and houses there. We'll have a little corner shoppy thing there. How are you complaining you haven't got any water? Ah, you're just outside the network. Okay. Well, just outside the network we can cope with. Just slam in a little bit of extra here. And there's an annoying little strip in the middle there, which there always is, because I'm incompetent at putting down water. So we'll put that down there. And then we will see what happens. Okay, I'm kind of feeling this. I'm feeling like this bit up here particularly, I think is going to be very nice. What are you complaining about? Not enough goods to sell. Yeah, I really could do with putting in a highway link to this bit of the city up here. And the best place to put that is probably here. Make this a roundabout and have that coming up and linking here. Unfortunately, I think my ready-made junction won't work there. Because if I put that there, then that can go... Mind you, what side do they drive on? That's going to involve a lot of road crossing. But if this is all going to be commercial here, then that gives them easy access to deliver goods up there, which might well be what we need. So it might be time to demolish this and then refit it with a circular highway junction like this one. Do I want to do that now? Do I want to do that now? Do I really want to do that now? Out of curiosity, this train, does that have a metro? Yeah, it does have a metro station. So the metro station actually is, the metro link is already in there. I'm going to have to do it at some point. Let's do it now. Let's pause. Yeah, all of you, sod off. Let's get you all gone. And we will pair you two back. Then we will go to junctions. Do you like that for now? No. We want you. This might not end up being quite as pretty as the old one. I say pretty, it's a highway, and I'm not sure exactly how pretty it's ever going to be, but that'll do for now. You need 3-lane highway. Yep, you are 3-lane. Shove you in there like that. I do need to go through the entire region and make the highway be the one with the sound barriers, because it isn't at the moment, and it really could do with being. Right. Let's play around. How are we going to get you? Yeah, this bit here, if we go into the resources map mode, this bit here has some really good ore, and I did originally think of trying to get some mining down, but the problem is, It's so freaking steep. I mean, here I might be able to flatten this bit out and make it a level with here and put some in there. That's a possibility, because it wouldn't be too close because it's got the big hill in the way. But it's just a pity that there's lots of really good ore, but it's all in a blooming nuisance of a place. Right, I'm gonna. Bet you can't guess what I'm about to do on the basis that I've just saved. We are going to do just a little bit of terraforming there, and then we're going to soften this bit a bit. Yep, there we go. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put a little offshoot of the 3-laner. Nope, it's going to be a straight one. And it's going to have a roundabout, which is going to be a 2-lane highway with barrier. It's going to be a lot smaller than that, my dear friend. Yep, it's going to be something like that. And this is going to snake up and meet that there. So that you're going to be a pisser about this, aren't you? Oh. What do you mean space already occupied? Very clearly not. But this is going to be an inelegant solution, but it will work. At least it should work. So let's sneak that up there, trying to be as close as possible. Which is the one they're actually going up? Okay, that is the right way around then. I'm going to bring that back because I think what we're going to do is this. No, I don't really want you to do that. Can you make that curve a little more gentle? Thank you. Yeah, this is always a tricky thing to try and get that. Try and get the highways in a decent position. Can I live with that? No, I can't. Okay, we can't live with that. Let's pare that back a bit, and then we will do this slightly differently. I don't really want you that much higher than that one. What if I go like that? Is that going to be any better? No, you're still going to be higher up. Oh, that's not too bad actually. Yeah, that will do. But I need to upgrade to reverse this bit all the way back. So that, oh no, don't do that. That should, if not solve, alleviate some of the supply problems up here, because now they've got somewhere. And also anyone who wants to get out the city quickly can do so off here. So that should make this supply issue a little bit less terrible. But we shall see. That may well not work, but we'll give it a go. We'll give it a go. How is this little bit doing here? Yep, you're still growing up. We want a little bit more commercial, so let's sod it, we'll tell you to fill in that bit. Oh, in order to balance, let's tell you to do both bits. I don't know how Yeah, how heavily used this is going to be. Yeah, this is one of the possible problems, is that a lot of the garbage trucks, the rubbish trucks that are coming from here, because I think there's an incinerator here, might end up taking a shortcut down here. But actually these roads aren't really busy enough that that should be a problem. And hopefully doing that might get rid of some of the traffic coming up this road as well, because they've now got a way into the city from over here, into the main bit of the city. But that being said, we might want to put another one in at some point over in this direction, so that they can get in from both sides without having to go through here, through this bit. But we'll see. We will see how that plays out. It might be that actually that's not a problem and I'm overthinking it, as can so often be the problem. Okay. Sorry, that's me. When you say that you've not got any police coverage, you are literally right next to a police station here. I suppose they're probably just too busy elsewhere, so you think there's no access. How is the airport doing in terms of people passing through it? 163 passengers, and he said that's not more than double, because I think when I finished playing this the other day, that was at about 80. So actually that has doubled. Oh, have we got one of those blocks here where neither of the trains can actually move? And you get these weird... No, we haven't. That's alright. I had a panic then. Sometimes you get these weird... Jesus, 842 passengers coming through here. So many, they're actually standing off the platform by the railway. Don't play on the railway, small child. Didn't you ever listen? Yeah, these are the trains that I liked, but were a bit too long. They got this lovely sort of Santa Fe style train on them. I think we need a crematorium over here. Didn't I put a crematorium over here? Apparently not, but we will put one down, because there apparently are a lot of people dying at the airport. And, I mean, it does make sense. There is a lot of people coming through here, as we've just seen from the train station. Bloody hell, 842, 771. But see, this is where I don't get it, because if I go and look at the rail numbers now, 403 a week. Passenger service last week, 771. Now, even accounting for repeat visitors, that seems off. Especially because if I look at this one, oh, that's only 127. Where are they all coming from to go here then? If that one's only 127, I don't know where they're all coming from, but apparently they are. I didn't put in the... Oh, how's it now? Here we go. It's night time. Let's see how the city looks. Oh, yeah, that's a nice little... Yeah, nice little view from there. And the university looks dingy and terrible, like most universities do in the darkness. Yeah, see, they've got a nice view over the valley. I mean, you've got a proper load of transport links there. I don't like transport, you know. Being the most boring man in the history of the world. Iran Air 747 landing, you know. It's all rather nice, that's what I know. Oh, you're upgrading now. Ah, okay, you've all decided now you want to upgrade, because presumably because I put a crematorium down by you. I'm not quite sure what you're selling, but that makes you entertaining. How's our little tourist Oasis doing all right? What's that? Not enough customers. Yeah, see, this is what I was worried about. I need to get... Problem is I have limited methods of bringing in tourists, because I can't put the, I don't have any water or sea to put a ferry port, a terminal... cruise ship terminal down, but yeah, so that might be a problem, but we'll see. This, oh yeah, that little plaza I think is quite nice actually. Yeah, I quite like that, and I probably won't do repeats of. As I'm saying, I won't do repeats of this all the way down this street, but actually then I'm looking at it and thinking, oh, actually, I wouldn't mind having a big core that was just these. Just a plazas and a... Yeah, I might well go back on that one. At any rate, I will temporarily... I will do an extension of this road. because I think that makes quite a nice little core. A nice little core for the city. But we shall see. We may well not end up extending that again. But it could do with something really fancy at the end. If we do, it needs to have something really posh and fancy at the end. Something you can sort of look up, along. You get those gorgeous. Oh God, I've just thought. Yeah, you get those gorgeous things that you sort of a focal point or whatever at the end. Oh yeah, we've got to put a space center down at some point. We might not put that down in the middle of the city because I'm mad, but I'm not that mad. But how? Oh yeah, see this one's started to get its deliveries now. You get a few people. Yeah, 97. That will ramp up very rapidly. I mean, at the moment we've only got actually one connection going into there, I think, so that will ramp up pretty rapidly. But I need to determine the distribution in this bit of offices and high density commercial and that sort of thing. I mean, part of me reckons do this avenue and possibly a few of the offshoots as high density commercial as a sort of main shopping street, a sort of Oxford Street or Champs-Élysées or Kudam, and then offices sort of on the edges, because the offices draw less traffic, whereas so if I put them on the edges, this road might not get quite so clogged up with traffic. It is getting quite busy now. People actually, see, there's a lot of people using this. Has this got a traffic light? You know what? I'm going to turn that off. Turn it off, and once again, it's fine. Science says turning traffic lights off can be helpful. Come on. No, don't select the road. I just want to turn the traffic lights off. Yeah, just because otherwise they spend half the time waiting for things that aren't there. But with this one, of course, they don't bother waiting at all, and it becomes a bit of a bun fight. But fortunately, car crashes are not a thing in this game, so really we don't have to worry about that. Or at least that's what I'm going to argue. Right, this bit could do with more housing. So we shall put a little bit more on there. And this. Yes, okay. Looks quite nice at night. It does rain a lot on this map, which is weird because it's meant to be a sort of desert map, but, academic year report. You see, our students in the university are going up, but I suppose there's more people there to... more people in the city to go there. But what happens? That's a levelling up thing, I think. So if it goes above 500, because my attractiveness is already over 200, so that means that's good to level me up from unrecognised. But I need more than 500 students. I need 2 of the academic works, which I haven't really done much with. Sure, we'll give you a research grant. Is that why I'm not getting them? Because I don't give them any money. Okay, well, we'll give you a bit of money. Oh, fuck it. No, with 35 is good enough. It's fine. I know I'm playing with infinite money, so it doesn't actually matter, but yeah, this is the one thing that might struggle a bit up here is rubbish collection. I might need to do a little sort of somewhere up in the hills, do it like I did here, where I've got the rubbish away from the main bulk of the city. I might need to do a little on this side of the hill or something, a sort of separate place that they can that I can have a few little utilities to help it not be so much of a problem for them, because this stuff will... What else do they want? Yeah, more education they want. Fire, death care, health. Yeah. Problem is these clinics don't really service. I say they don't service much. There's only 2 people there. I mean, it's not that much. Where did I put the schools here? Thought I put schools in here. Oh yes, I put them over here. How are you doing for students? Yeah, you see, you're already maxed out of students. So we are going to need more schools around here. is, I mean, putting one there would make sense. Or we could use one of these slots that's not really any good for houses, I suppose. There's another one down here. Yeah, put one there. Although you're going to complain that you don't have any power, which is a fair complaint, but we're filling this bit in quite fast, so actually that might not be quite so much of a problem. I'm thinking the rest of this little arc inside at least is going to be commercial, just to satisfy some of their commercial needs, so that all these people don't end up constantly flooding to the main shopping bit over here. I think I am going to need a direct route between the tourism place and here, because the tourists, I think, as I recall, quite like shopping. And if this is going to be our main shopping area, then I think I'm going to want a direct rail link there. But I think I do have a spare rail line going into here that I can use for that. So that's not too much of a problem. You're still complaining about crime, but there's no police cars in use here at all. Oh, is that because they're taking too long to get to? Because they can do U-turns, so I would have thought they would just be able to go around here. I'm wondering if I maybe need to... Okay, what if I'm wondering if it's a routing problem, in which case, if I upgrade this route here to be tram tracks with road, will that encourage the police to get out, because now they've got a short journey between... I'm sorry, why are the police driving a clown car? I don't know. Right, where are you going then? So yeah, I think that might have been it. I think they were thinking they had to go far too far to actually get to these places on this side of the road, even though actually it's not too far, presumably. Oh no, you're going... Oh wow, you're going really far. Okay. You're just patrolling. Ah, okay. Oh, they just have to go past them to deal with the thing? I thought they had to actually stop to deal with the crime. That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? Police cars that just sort of... It's like the opposite of a drive-by shooting. You just drive a police car past and everything's fine. Oh, a little cinema here. Yeah, okay. A little starlight cinema. I'm even going to mark that as a historical building. I quite like that, even if it is on a bit of a cliff. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we got a... Oh, I quite like the fact that one's a little bit shorter, so you can actually see over. I reckon these are probably going to be the prime ones. This little row here is going to be the prime ones in terms of housing prices, because you get the nice view across the valley. It is a very pretty game here. I always turn off the because it has by default a depth of field shift, but I always think it makes it look a bit weird. So I almost always have it turned off. It does make it look sort of all model and toy town, and it's fine, but I just don't think it ends up looking quite as nice as this, because it's kind of constantly blurring things on the edges of your vision, and it just looks a bit strange. But I'm quite happy with how this has turned out, actually. I wasn't expecting to be able to use this space very effectively or for anything particularly useful, but actually it's a bit wonky, but I'm quite happy. And when it's filled out, that won't be so noticeable. I mean, this one's terribly wonky, but of course when it's filled out, you can't really see. It's just a load of nice buildings, and particularly if you're looking at it closely, you're unlikely to be looking at it top down. You're going to be looking at it from a sort of slight angle where the wonk isn't so visible. It's what they call me in work, the wonk, and they like it when I'm not so visible. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're still wanting more housing, but that we're sort of slowly dealing with this new fancy bit of town here. So we can put in a little bit more around the edges here. In fact, you really want it, I can tell, because it immediately plonked it in. Yeah, okay. As it's daytime, where could we put the rubbish thing for these poor people over here? It's difficult because this bit up here is a possible, but then this bit up here has a nice view, and I'd quite like to reserve it for, this is a little sort of pseudo mini ridge along here, which I'd quite like to reserve for some houses. Maybe you might even put some of the small houses up there as a sort of elite. If you're very rich, you can do it. Right, you're complaining about hearing. Yeah, you're there. What is noise pollution? Your noise pollution, yeah, it's pretty high. I've never worked out how to deal effectively with noise pollution, because I mean, the trees with the roads with trees in it are supposed to be quite good, and I know dumping trees down as a whole like this is also supposed to be quite good for sort of noise absorption. But I've never quite worked out how to sort of effectively deal with it. I think part of the problem is that there's a lot of quite big roads here, although these little sort of single lane avenues shouldn't be too bad because they're fairly low capacity. I mean, these people are always going to complain because they've got these massive roads around them here. Sorry, if you heard a rumbling then, that will be a truck going past my flat. Right, we see we're starting to get in demand for industry now, but I suspect that's not actually really demand for industry. I suspect that's demand for offices. In which case, thinking about offices... So I had thought about doing these little internal bits as offices. But then I'd also thought about putting offices around here in this little sort of the financial hub around the station. But maybe we can do a mix of the two in reality. Because I don't know where the tech cluster is going to go yet. So maybe let's put some offices in here. What is there? Is there a thing? What's the problem with this little spot here? Why won't you put an office there? Okay, fine. We'll just get rid of that line. Let's see how those offices go up. Yeah, I really want this bit on top of the hill to end up looking very impressive. Of course, the basic level offices won't always look that impressive. They'll probably be fairly short and squat like the commercial buildings until I can solve some of the problems with them. But yeah, I do like the range of building designs in this. He says, looking at two buildings that are exactly the same. No, they work so well together. They end up looking quite lovely. You see, this is the sort of thing that looks more like what you get near airports. I might have to put some offices down there as well. Because I mean, the whole Aerotropolis thing. This isn't how it's going to be. I'm going to expand it out. There will be offshoots and roads. I mean, basically, I'm going to have a fair amount of buildings around this, surrounding the two airports. I just put this in as a sort of illustrative thing and to test to see if it vaguely worked. So this. Yeah, this little bit is just test, really, because I don't know how many people are even shopping here. I mean, this is commercial stuff, but it's not massively useful commercial stuff. But what I shall do, in fact, I can probably do that now, is go into my policies and put there is a no high-rise, high-rise ban. Probably ought to put that on, otherwise things will start. I don't actually know what it considers to be high-rise. It could be that all this stuff is technically high-rise, but I don't think it is. We'll know in a minute if it starts disappearing. If it starts completely vanishing, then I've fucked up. But yeah, for now, we'll see. Oh, that's an interesting looking building there. Okay. But yeah, I'm not bothering putting, there will be more parks and things around here which will make them happier. But for now, I just want to get the buildings in, and then we'll work on the problems and upgrading them in due course to sort that out. More housing. How are you coming in? Yeah, you've all come in. Okay, we'll... it's probably enough time to avoid a death wave, right? Probably. If it's not, well, we have to deal with a death wave. Well, we're doing quite well. I think we've more or less doubled our population since we started playing, and we haven't... I mean, in terms of housing, what have we put down? We've filled out this bit, and we've put a little bit down here. It's the difference between the high density and the nice little low density. There's more upgrading around here, really. Yeah, you see, oh, in fact, we've got some top level upgrades there. That's a nice house. Garage is slightly difficult to get into, but you know, is that more? Yeah, okay. So this stuff, this is going to be a really nice little sort of suburban sector, I think. Yeah, see, 300. The number of people served. Excuse me. Number of people served at this train station is going to be racing up. Yeah, see, this one, which when we first checked it, had about 11 people on, now 47. As more people want to get into here, and the officers will help with that, obviously, because that will increase the number of people who are actually working here. And I was going to say we probably want some buses or metro or taxis to get people to the offices, but actually that's where the metro will come in. So what we might do, we'll get some more offices down. When we've got some more offices, we'll start thinking about putting in a bit of a metro stop. The problem I always find with the metro is that you end up doing it and then having to redo it as the city expands into the new areas. And I know you could plan it out beforehand, but you sort of don't know how how traffic flows and things are going to work. So it often doesn't end up being that useful. You sort of want to grow it organically, but that means you're constantly having to redo it. And of course, we need to work out what we're doing with this lovely little park area on the point here, because I think that could end up being quite a nice little design around there. So if I was being really ambitious, I'd try and put some canals in and things up here, which on this map would be quite interesting because we don't really have any water. And I do have these modding tools that allow you to put in water sources and things, but I'll be honest, every time that I've tried to use them in the past, they have just sort of made the city completely flood. It's not quite the same as when you're using a little, you're in a city that's nicely on the coast, so you can have sort of strange saltwater canals in there. I think I am going to put more of these plazas in, along here. I just like them. I think they look pretty good. No, it wasn't that one. And I mean, they're essentially... Well, they're not essentially functionless, because each of them adds... What? Oh, there's a gap. That's all right. I had a panic that there was a... I know I could have just moved those, but... Yeah. No, they will all add the park sort of bonuses. How many did I have there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think that'll look really nice, actually. It's only leading to a hospital. I'll probably have to put something nicer at this end of it. In fact, given how close that is to the road, what I might do is sort of cut it off there. If I put another 3-lane spur going across here, I'll just do it to there for now. With a little one. I wasn't sure whether this was going to work, but actually I've ended up quite liking it. Though again, as I said previously, we might have to keep an eye on the traffic, because these little bits are not great for traffic. But we'll see. So down here. Yeah, I actually really like that. You see, these commercial centres are actually getting quite high. I suppose it's because they need wealthier customers. Just see that pop up there, but wealthier customers. But of course, the people down here must be making a fortune. In fact, what is the land value like? Yeah, you see, the land value around here is ridiculous. this won't get that ridiculous. But that might be why I do a little sort of another little bit like this with single houses down here. But yeah, so the land that land value is obscene. And that's what I think this might end up being. It'll be a big city up here, but then it'll be lots of little, because there's quite a lot of nice little flat spaces scattered around this mountain. There's one up here, which it would have to link onto the highway, but actually the highway is pretty well linked into everything else now. So actually, I think it might end up being a lot of little suburban areas all feeding into this big city up here that's got the sort of offices centres, and the Aerotropolis, which I will eventually fill in this sort of a space round here. Is my plan to sort of fill that up so that so the edge of it is up matching the curves of the highway. I think that will work. And part of this is I want to see if the model will allow for this sort of Aerotropolis thing, and it should do in theory. I mean, the whole point of the Aerotropolis, it doesn't model it quite to the level I might hope, but the whole point of it is that you have the commercial space and the office space and things that are immediately around the airport, but then you do have these suburban feeds. It's all about in the book, and I really do thoroughly recommend the book, and I'm sure I can put a link in chat if people would like to read it, because it is a beautiful book. And the whole point is about building a sort of integrated urban environment where you have these really nice housing. And really nice, strong commercial districts and things. And I really want this space, which is actually quite, in terms of shape, is quite a nice space for trying that sort of thing. And then does come out to these sort of external things that feed into it, either through the roads or through the rail lines. So, yes, I think that might end up being quite nice. Yes. But for now, I think I might call an end here, because I need to go and work out what the hell I bought for myself for dinner the other day, because I've got no clue. I go shopping on a Saturday, and by Sunday I've well and truly forgotten what on earth it was I was meant to be having. We might work a bit on the tourism. I don't know. I don't stream very often. When I do, it tends to be big political events. I do a lot of streaming. Whenever we have an election in the UK, I do a live stream all night as the results come in, and provide a bit of commentary for those who want an alternative to the BBC or Channel 4, or whoever else does them. But I am quite keen. I do quite. I'm a very proud gamer, and there's a lot of people that still underestimate gaming. And underestimate it as I'm going to say as a learning tool, and that makes me sound like a tool, but underestimate it as a method of exploring the environment around us. And games like this are really good for that, because they, it brings in issues about the built environment. We're building here a city, but we've got to work on all these different things. And yeah, I know I'm playing it on sandbox mode, so I'm not working on it properly, but that's just so I can get it going. And I'd really be interested in doing a few more streams like this, in exploring these sort of issues and these sort of things. So I don't want to commit to a regular thing, but if you do want to come along, when I know we've got a few people, watching. If you do want to do these, then do click on the follow or subscribe or whatever it is. Follow, I think, isn't it, on Twitch for the non-paid one. I'm never going to start charging. I'm not nearly skilled enough for that. But yes, if you see these are top level. Oh no, they're not. I thought they were top levels. Okay, but yeah, if it does interest you, then do follow along and set it so it notifies you when it come online. What I'm probably going to do is I will try and do the same thing next Sunday, because I have quite enjoyed doing this. A little bit of chat back, and that's fine. I almost never chat. I watch a lot of streams, but I almost never chat. But yeah, do press the button so it lets you know when I'm streaming. Or if you do, I do these little just chatting sort of politics streams. I sort of work peripherally in politics and have a very great interest in the area. So So yeah, if that sort of stuff interests you, then do click the button. And otherwise, even if you don't want to do that, which is absolutely fair, I shall attempt roughly 4 to 4:30 next Sunday to be on, and we will continue this. I won't do anything else on it until then. I might have a look around and see if there's any more mods we want to install, but I won't do any substantive things with the city until then. But yes, I hope any of you who have been watching along have enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again. It would be really nice to see some of you again. Maybe get some more ideas. I want your creativity. I'm not, when it comes to aesthetics, I am not the most creative rind. I'm a fair writer, but not an aesthete to the visual arts. So if you have any ideas, then do bring them along with you. And I'm thinking the next time, one of the things we might want to do is work on this university a bit, because we're over the students now, so we need to we might want to start expanding a little bit there. And also, as we know, you should always finish with a problem. These people are drowning in their own filth, so we need to sort that out at some point. And I'm still thinking there might be a little thing here, and possibly some ore industry on this side. Because the more I think about it, the more I think there's a doom hole here. What the bloody hell is that? Oh, we're saving the doom hole. Haha, I've got my magic tool. We're saving that doom hole. That doom hole is going to be moved so I can build ore mining there, but we are saving the doom hole. So, yep, it was lovely to speak to people, and I shall leave you with a nice view of the airport. Come on, it's a game. This is a game about airports, and as this what looks like a British Airways, oh no, it's Japan Airlines 737 comes into land, I shall mute myself and we shall say goodbye for today. Join us again next Sunday for 4:30. That's the problem, I can't do that. 4 to 4:30 if you want to come back, and we will finish some more of this. Ciao for now. Press the follow button too. That's what I say after I say goodbye, even when I'm just speaking to my friends. Press the follow button.